In the previous video, we discussed Tissaphernes and the war between the Greeks. Now, let's continue the discussion. During the time that Tissaphernes was the governor of Egypt, a new figure emerged in Achaemenid politics, a man named Cyrus, who was the youngest son of Darius II, the king of Persia. Cyrus was appointed to command Asia Minor, an area very close to the conflict zone.
At that time, the Greeks also intended to send a number of envoys to Susa to negotiate with Darius II. However, when they reached Asia Minor, Cyrus intercepted them and said, "I have full authority in this region. Any discussions you wish to have should be directed to me. Furthermore, I assure you that I will support the Spartans more than anyone else." To demonstrate his goodwill to the Spartans, Cyrus did not allow the Athenian envoys to return to Athens and even confiscated several Athenian ships. With Cyrus's arrival in Asia Minor, Iran's policy toward Greece entered a new phase. Unlike Tissaphernes, Cyrus was not interested in political maneuvering and did not constantly shift Greek forces. He clearly stated his policy of full support for the Spartans to the Greeks. Cyrus announced from the very beginning that he would restore the rations and rights of the Spartans without any reductions, and that he would support them in their war against Athens until their complete victory. The Spartans regained their strength and prepared to attack Athens. Tissaphernes opposed Cyrus's policies, which is why he sent a message to Cyrus asking him not to take sides in the civil war in Greece and to allow the Greeks to tear each other apart. This was a policy that Tissaphernes had implemented for years. However, when the message reached Cyrus, he angrily rejected the proposal, stood by his word, and fully supported the Spartans. The first clashes between the Spartans and Athenians began at sea with warships. This naval battle was very intense and bloody. Although the Athenian forces had the upper hand in naval combat, Cyrus had provided so much financial and military support to the Spartans that, ultimately, the tide turned. To everyone's astonishment, it was the Spartans who destroyed the Athenian ships. Cyrus was very pleased to hear about the Spartans' victory, but news arrived from Susa that his father, Darius II, had summoned him. Cyrus was the youngest son of Darius, so he could not logically become the heir to the throne. Therefore, there was uncertainty about the purpose of this summons. He was told that Darius was old and ill and wished to say goodbye to him one last time. Reluctantly, Cyrus agreed and returned from Asia Minor to Susa. However, the reality of the situation was not just a farewell to Darius II. As mentioned, Cyrus's policies were very different from those of Tissaphernes, and he was fully supportive of the Spartans. These actions were not to his father's liking, which is why he summoned him to hold him accountable for these policies. Before leaving the region, Cyrus entrusted the continuation of the missions to one of his companions, saying, "All the treasury I have here is at your disposal, and bring this war to victory. Even if the financial reserves run out, use my private wealth." Shortly after Cyrus's departure, a battle broke out in which the Athenian forces suffered a severe defeat. Out of their 180 ships, only 12 managed to escape. Most of the experienced Athenian commanders fell into the hands of the Spartans, and those who survived could not return to Athens. During this battle, large portions of Greek territory fell out of Athenian control and into the hands of the Spartans. The Spartans advanced so effectively that they completely besieged Athens, both by land and by sea. At the beginning, the Athenians had no intention of surrendering. They sent a message stating that they would remain in the city until their last breath and would not capitulate. However, the siege prolonged, and every day many Athenian citizens perished from hunger in the streets of the city. According to historians, the stench of the corpses filled the entire city. The nobles of Athens realized that there was no option but to surrender to the demands of the Spartans. They sent a message to the Spartan forces stating that they would no longer resist. The victorious Spartan commanders entered the city, set fire to the armories, destroyed the warships, and even ordered the demolition of the walls that had been built to protect Athens. Thus, the Peloponnesian Wars came to an end after 27 years with the defeat of Athens and the victory of Sparta.
The victory of the Spartans was also highly beneficial for Iran, as the Athenians intended to unite all the western regions and form a maritime empire. This goal was never realized, and with the intervention of the Spartans, along with the significant amounts of money that Iran spent in these wars, this did not happen, and the Athenian forces suffered a humiliating defeat.
The king of Persia, Darius II of the Achaemenids, passed away in 404 BC after 20 years of reign. After his death, Parysatis, who remained powerful and influential as before, appointed her son Artaxerxes II as his successor. During the reign of Darius II, Egypt separated from the Persian Empire. Darius II was the last Achaemenid king to be buried at Nakhche-Rustam.
Thank you for watching this video. If there's a specific topic you'd like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments. Your feedback means a lot to us.